Hey guys, Moose here with Cerakote. Today in this video, we're gonna cover fades. Not just any type of fade, but we're gonna do a fade with a 2-color camo. By adding a wet on wet base fade and just flip-flopping those colors on top can just add extra dimension to the pattern and can make it look really awesome with not a lot of work to the applicator. So let's jump into it.
Please wear all appropriate PPE while working with Cerakote. Our training rooms have EPA-approved filtration, allowing us to teach students without respirators, so lessons can be heard.
So we got a rifle stock in here in the booth. I'm gonna start by dialing my spray gun down, hitting all of my hard to reach areas. After I'm done with that, I'm gonna open my spray gun back up to our base coat setting, apply a base coat. So we got the base coat applied. We have been allowing this to ambiently flash for about 5 to 10 minutes so far. While we continue to let this ambiently flash, let's kind of dive into the gun settings that I'm gonna use to apply this wet on wet fade. I am gonna make one full turn on my fan pattern adjustment knob, and then I'm gonna go to my fluid adjustment knob. I'm gonna start with about a half of a turn on fluid. Our next adjustment we're gonna make is our air adjustment knob here. So I'm gonna engage my air on my spray gun. I have full air coming out of the spray gun here, so I'm getting full air that I have set at my wall regulator. I'm gonna come over to my paper, I'm gonna set my distance, I'm gonna make one pulse. Now notice, I have about a 1-inch oval fan pattern, we have a wet center, and we got real tight, smoky overspray on the outside. If you don't like that look, because a lot of this comes down to preference, all we need to do to adjust that to get more of a splatter look is we are going to lower the air on our air adjustment knob. Very important here to keep your air or the first stage on this trigger engaged so you can hear the air pitch go up or down. So I'm gonna engage my air. I am gonna lower the air on the spray gun. As soon as I start to hear that pitch change, I wanna make another pulse. Keep going lower, lower, until we get a pretty drastic splattery look. Depending on the look that you're going for with the pattern or the fade, this is right, this could be right, and this can also be right. With this one, I'm going for more of that very ombre, smoky, easy transitional fade underneath the pattern. Personally, I think that's what looks best. So I am gonna go back to my full air. I am gonna make my pulse. And then I always like to make 3 passes. 1, 2, 3, all in one spot. And I wanna make sure that I'm getting a semi-wet reflection out of the coating. If I go too much on my fluid and I try to do this, it's gonna get too wet, too quick, and then you run the risk of that fade being glossier than the base coat, and it's gonna stick out like a sore thumb. So I always want to try and start with the least amount of fluid possible, but using the 3-pass method to get that semi-wet reflection. I like doing zigzag fades on parts like this, especially with the pattern that we're doing. It's gonna show up through the whole part. You do get those nice solid portions of green, you get those nice solid portions of gray, but then you also get that intermixed fade of both of those colors, and it's gonna show up through that pattern really well. This is not the only way to apply a wet on wet base coat fade. You could do hot spots where it's just heavy saturated areas of another color. You can do an ombre style where it's just a 2-tone, one color faded into another color, and then you can invert it with your top colors. So now that we're at this point, we're gonna allow this thing to ambiently flash for about 15 minutes. Then we're gonna toss it into the oven. Now let's talk about a smaller part. Let's say we're doing a pistol slide. Using a fan pattern this big on a pistol slide might give you too much coverage on the fade, and it might not be the look you're going for. With this gun setting, I am no longer gonna make a turn on my fan pattern adjustment knob. I wanna keep that fully closed off. I'm gonna start with 1/4 to 1/2 of a turn on my fluid. Once again, I'm going to engage the air on my spray gun. I'm gonna make a pulse. Same idea here. I can lower my air on my air adjustment knob on the spray gun to increase a little bit more of that splatter look. But now we have a lot smaller of a bullet fan pattern that could easily work on smaller parts. All right, guys. We got the stock out of the oven. We allowed it to fully cool to room temperature. Now we're gonna start applying some stencils. Definitely wanna try and place stencils to where I will get maybe a stencil covering some gray with that green fade so we get that to show underneath, because we are gonna spray some colors over the top, so we wanna bring out that fade on the base. Right before I go to spray the top colors, I'm probably gonna do a once over and go back through and make sure that all those edges are nice and pressed down. Don't really want blowouts. All right, so we got the stencils laid, and now we're gonna spray over the top. I'm gonna take that color that we used as our fade on the base, and that is now gonna be my primary color that I'm gonna spray over the top with. My gun settings for that is gonna be very similar to the fade settings. I might increase my fluid slightly. When I do that, I'm now gonna have to increase my speed and my distance ever so slightly, and also make sure I'm using my side light so I'm getting a semi-wet reflection out of the coating, because we don't want it too wet and we don't want it too dry. If we apply it too wet, we're gonna get some pretty bad ridges. So for the next layer, we're gonna apply the top fade. I'm gonna be using green, which was our original base coat color, and that's the color that we're gonna use for the top fade. When I did the zigzag pattern for my base fade, when I do it with the green here, I'm just gonna try and go in opposite fashion. So with my base, I really tried to go kind of like this down the part. On this one, I'm gonna try and go opposite. So we're filling in those voids so you get the opposite color when we peel those stencils off. All right, we got the last layer done. Now that this is done, we're gonna allow it to ambiently flash for about 15 minutes. We're gonna put it into the oven to get it tack-free. Once it's tack-free, we peel some stencils. All right, so we got stencils peeled. Project turned out really good. When you guys go to attack this in your shop or at home, stenciling can be daunting or difficult at times. We do have an awesome YouTube video, Cerakote dialing down around stencils. And let's say we get ridges after we peel stencils off. Don't worry about that. We got a new video out on how to mitigate those ridges. This bad boy is now ready to go in for a full cure, and then we can assemble it. It's gonna do it for this video. Thanks for watching. Don't forget, like, subscribe. I'll see you on the next one.